joining me here today for our 30-minute slow flow yoga class. Today's class is going to be all about hip opening and heart opening today. So just really opening up the body and allowing ourselves to be open to everything that's going on around us. No judgments of the people in our lives, no judgments of ourselves, just really being okay with where we are at. That being said, to start off today's class, please find a comfortable seated position on your mat. Whatever that looks like. Maybe the legs are crossed or straight in front of you, or you're sitting on the feet. Taking a moment to find this relatively comfortable upright seated position. And then closing down the eyes. And just beginning to smooth out those inhales and exhales here. As you hold this seated position, noticing where the legs and the feet are in space, how they feel here. Notice the hips and the pelvis, the lower back and the belly. And just take note of how they feel in this upright seat. There might be just a bit of tension building as you hold this position. And notice the whole spine, the shoulder blades, the chest, the collarbones and the tops of the shoulders. Taking note of the neck and the throat. And notice how they're feeling just sitting here. And then try to notice this whole body as one. Feel all the limbs, all the organs, working together to keep you seated and stable. And just invite in a sense of awareness and a sense of acceptance into whatever this seated position feels like. And then begin to grow that breath in the chest, finding a more full inhale and a complete exhale. With that exhale, allowing some of this tension in the body to just let go, to release, to find more comfort here in this seat, and to choose to stay present even in this simple seated position. With your next inhale, drawing that belly button in towards the spine, up into the ribs, and growing even taller through each vertebra, the back of the neck, the top of the head, reach towards the sky as the shoulders draw down towards the earth and tuck back behind you for a more aligned, upright you. And you're allowed to keep your eyes closed for this bit of class, or if you wish to open them, you may. With an exhale, you're going to allow the hands to fall by the sides. Inhale, open the arms wide, reach them overhead. And as you exhale, the left hand is coming down to the earth as the right hand reaches up and over to that left side. Stretching through this right rib cage, keeping the right hip heavy. As As you reach through this right side, bring the right hand behind the head. Press the head into the hand as you take that top elbow, reach it up, and maybe back behind you to twist the chest slightly open. Deep breaths into this side of the body, keeping that belly button intact. Find one more breath out to fold further on this side. And then inhale back to center, both hands reach high. Exhale, right hand comes down to the earth. Inhale, left fingertips reach up and over to the right side. Keeping that left hip heavy, extending from hip out the hand. Breathing into the left rib space, expansion, and then take that left hand behind the head. As you press the head into the hand, reach that elbow higher and possibly twist it back behind you, slightly opening the chest to the sky. Big breath in to expand. Breath out to fold deeper. And then inhale, use the obliques, draw yourself back up to center, hands go overhead. Wherever your legs are, with an exhale, fold the chest forwards, bring the hands to the earth. Keep both hips heavy on the ground. And then just walk yourself a bit deeper as you fold further. Maybe you're hitting the head, maybe your forehead even gets to the ground wherever you are. Keep the hips, keep the legs heavy, and connect that belly button back in and up. Inhale here. As you exhale, walk the hands over to the right side, pressing down and away through that right hand or left hand, and then tracking the right hand towards you to keep both sides of the body long. Find a full breath out. As you inhale, walking your hands to center, and then exhale, walking the hands over to the left side. Pressing that right hand down and away, and then pulling the left palm towards you on the earth. Breathing through this right side. Find one full exhale here. And then inhale, bring the hands back to center. Roll the spine up to a seated position. As you unwind the legs wherever they are and find yourself in a tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Spread those fingers wide and just begin to take your cat-cows. With an inhale, drop the belly, reach the chest forwards between the shoulders. And then exhale, as you keep that belly engaged, tuck, round the spine, hang the head. Two more like that with the breath. Inhale, open through the chest. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, round the spine. Last one with your full breath, full expression. And then inhale, coming to your flat back. As you exhale, root through the toes and lift the hips up and back to your first downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling out the legs or lowering one armpit down and then the other. Just feeling this first downward dog of the day, maybe even the week. Take that stillness, press through the feet, press through the hands, get strong in those rounded points to lift the hip crease up and back even further. Soften through the face. With an inhale, reach that right heel straight up to the sky, reach. And then exhale, step that right foot between the hands, dropping the back knee. And maybe walking this right foot forwards to find your deepest, fullest lunge. I want you to keep that cat-like feeling through the body, through the spine. So tuck the pelvis under, tuck the chin. Keep that belly pulled in as you press the hips forwards and down to the earth, stretching through the left hip flexor. Keeping that pelvis tucked under. And then even engaging the core more here. Walking the hands up to the knees, keeping that pelvis tucking under, the back straight. Press the torso up. Maybe hinging farther into this lunge. Once you find the stability here, squeezing the legs together underneath you, inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, if you want, lift off of that back knee, full crescent lunge. You're more than allowed to keep that back knee grounded here. Belly button pulling in. Wherever you are, inhale, lift the gaze, lift the chest. As you exhale, find a back bend in the arms. If your knee is lifted, tap that knee down to the earth. Inhale, come back to straight through the spine, the leg. Exhale, back bend, tap that knee down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, last one, bend back to your furthest. Inhale, come to center. And as you exhale, if that knee is lifted, lower it back down to the earth. Breath in. Breath out, right hand comes to right hip. Inhale, left hand reaches up as high as you can through the left side. Exhale, draw that left hand over to the right. Press the left hip away from you. Find one last exhale here. Inhale, draw the hands overhead. Breath out, frame the front foot with the hands, and then bring them inside of the right foot as it creeps out over to the right for your lizard pose. Keeping that knee drawing in towards the shoulder. Possibly, if you have the space, lowering onto the forearms here. Sending that breath to the tightness today. Opening up through that left hip flexor, finding awareness, finding space and acceptance. Big breath in here. As you exhale, begin to shift the hips back. As you walk your hands back and start to straighten through that front right leg. To stay pointed here. As you try to keep the hips in line with each other, that left hip forwards, right hip down and back. Breathing through the hamstrings, the hips, the lower back. That slow, long inhale and full releasing exhale. With your next inhale, rebending forwards into your lunge. Step the foot back between the hands and then behind you into your tabletop. Breath in the tabletop to realign the core, pulling it into center. And then breath out to press up and back into your downward facing dog. With your next inhale, left heel lifts as high as you can possibly take it. And then exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Drop that back knee, tuck the chin, tuck the pelvis under to create that cat-like action. And then hips sink forwards and down as you breathe into this right hip flexor. Focusing your attention, your kindness into that right hip flexor. Squeezing the legs towards each other underneath you. That belly button, bring the hands to the left knee as you lift the torso, spine long, tailbone tucked. Maybe sink an inch farther forwards in this lunge. Inhale, hands lift overhead, shoulders down and behind. Take a big breath in and either stay or exhale, straighten through that back leg, full crescent lunge. And inhale to lift the gaze, lift the chest. Exhale, bend the elbows, back bend, tap that knee to the earth. Inhale, lift. 2 more, exhale, bend back, tap down. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, tap down. Inhale, lift to your crescent. And then exhale, lower that back knee as the hands reach up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, left hand to left hip. Inhale, reach that right hand up. And then exhale over to the left side as you press that right hip away. Breathing through the whole right side of the body. Take an exhale to fold. Inhale, hands drop to the sky. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. As you walk the left hand outside and sink down into your lizard lunge. Hips equally pressing forwards into the earth. Maybe you're allowed to come onto forearms here. With an inhale, draw that belly button up and in. As you exhale, surf the hips back as you begin to straighten through the front left leg. Keep those toes pointed. Try to find evenness through the hips. the left hamstring, the lower back. Inhale here. As you exhale, re-lunge the front leg. Walk it in between the hands and step it back into your tabletop position. Keeping the knees hip distance, the toes on the ground. Walk the hands forwards about a foot, as wide as the mat. Ground into the 10 fingers. Inhale, pull the belly button in, widen through the shoulder blades, and then exhale, sink the forehead, sink the chest down towards the earth, however far you may get it for your puppy pose. Maybe the forehead rests, but keep that strength pushing through the arms, collarbones and back and shoulders widening as you sink closer to the earth. Two more big breaths here. And then inhaling, walking the hands back underneath the shoulders. And coming to the knees in a kneeling position. Bringing the hands to the back pockets, fingers face down, wrap those shoulders and elbows behind you. Inhale, pull the belly button in as you press the hips forward and start to descend to your camel pose. Chest lifts, chin lifts, and then maybe you release the head back. As you press those hips forwards, engage the core. Full breaths into this chest, into your camel pose. Maybe open mouth exhales. Find one more breath out. As you inhale, rolling back up through the spine, the chin and the neck last. And then coming to a seat. Taking those legs out in front of you, heels on the ground, rolling all the way onto the back. Bringing the knees into the chest for a big squeeze. And then grab the knees, press them forwards and wide, so your hands are the only thing holding them back. The knees and the feet are wide and heavy, pushing forwards. Possibly lifting that lower back off of the ground. Opening through the pelvis. And breathing into this space. Softly release that left leg as it goes along on the mat. Left hand comes to right knee. Right arm goes long. Inhale. And then exhale, take your twist over to the left side of the earth. Finding softness and ease in this twist today. Inhale, come to center. Release that right leg long as left knee comes into right hand. Right arm goes along beside you. Inhale. Exhale, twist over to the right side. Breathing the length of the spine. breath out to deepen. Breath in, coming back to center. Pulling both knees into the chest for one big tight squeeze. And then as you're ready, gently releasing the limbs long and limp on the earth as the feet fall open. The palms rest face upwards in your final pose today. Shavasana. Inviting in peace and surrender through each breath into this body. I invite you to enjoy this final pose for as long as you wish. I will leave you here in this sweet surrender. Thank you so very much for joining me here today. Namaste.